Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another Landmiss video. Today I am filming a video that I have been wanting to film for a very long time, and I am following well, in my own words, I'm following a viral TikTok makeup tutorial. This is not a TikTok makeup hacks part 2, I might be doing that later on, but this is specifically following a makeup artist that I have stalked and creeped and who's also been served up on my For You page on TikTok a million times, and that is Kevin Kodra, which I actually just had one of those, what's it called, where you think you see something, but it's actually been a lie and you've been seeing this other thing. There's some phenomenon for that, like the Berenstain Bears thing. Anyway, I thought his username was Kevin Kodra the entire time, but it's actually Kevi Kodra. I had no idea. Anyway, this guy has been popping off on TikTok and I see him on my For You page all the time. His skin is phenomenal. It is so flawless, and I have saved all of his videos. I bought a ton of products that he uses, and I basically just wanted to do this video dedicated to the Kevin Kodra way, and I wanted to try to create his very, very flawless, perfect makeup skin base routine. So that's what we're doing today. I would love to hear from you if you are also a follower of Kevin Kodra. What do you think of his tips? I'm obsessed with the way he does his makeup. And if there are any other people that you would like me to try following their tutorials, let me know. It makes sense. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in and we are going to get started. So the Kevin Kodra way actually starts with a lot of skincare. If you actually, depending on how deep you scroll, it will be a myriad of different things. But more recently, he's been using a lot of Tatcha products. But honestly, like, the idea is to just heavily moisturize your skin, as he says. So I just went with my good old Welletta Skin Food and I prepped my skin with that. I also did my eyebrows just to save us all some time. We're not focusing on the brows today. This is mainly a skin focused tutorial that we're following. And I also want to say that I'm actually taking some tips from a few different videos of his, but there's one main one where he's getting ready for a Charlotte Tilbury event, and that's pretty much what I've tried to follow entirely here, except for the Charlotte Tilbury blush that I still believe has been sold out since Madison Beer did her Vogue Beauty Secret tutorial. I haven't been able to see it since. It seems to have been sold out since. So we're doing the Kevin Kodra way, minus that one blush. But he uses 3 blushes. So listen, we got 2 out of the 3. We're doing our best here. Okay, so my skin is prepped. We're actually going to start with the foundation, and he uses the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. I picked this one up in the shade 160 Shell, and he raves about it, and every time he uses it, it looks beautiful. He also applies it with a foundation brush, and one of the first tips that he talks about is spraying his setting spray onto his foundation brush before applying the foundation. So I don't know if it's going to be the same with the Benefit one. This is just, we're going to try, but I'm going to soak up my foundation brush with setting spray, and that is one of the things that he does in his makeup routine, which I found deeply fascinating. So I'm gonna, oh, it's locked. So I'm taking the soaked setting spray foundation brush, and I'm going to apply the foundation onto my skin. That's a great match. This is my MAC 170 brush. I actually really wanted to use my Rephr 31 brush for this because it looks like more like the brush that he uses, but that is filthy and I did not clean my brushes prior to filming this video. So MAC 170 it is, but I'm sure any of your fave foundation brushes will do, but I'm just gonna be patting this in. So far so good. So far it's looking okay. I guess it does just make sense to apply the setting spray to your brush because it's just helping to soak it in and sink it in. Why not? We apply our MAC Fix Plus onto our beauty blenders occasionally here on this channel, so why not apply our setting spray? It seems like a fun little tip to do, although, you know, I don't have any recollection of this foundation at the moment, so I can't tell you what the difference would be without the setting spray, but perhaps it will have a long-lasting effect on our base. So I'm applying this all over. I always get a little bit, I think it's just because my nose is so bony. I don't know. But there's always a little bit of like patchiness when I use a foundation brush on my nose. So I just go over with my finger after and pat in the warmth basically. So the foundation looks exceptional. He was not joking with this foundation recommendation. And this is where it starts to get interesting. Once he applies the foundation, then instead of going into concealer, he goes in with his cream contour and or bronzer, and then cream blush, and then concealer.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
In the particular video that I watched, he used the Persona Cosmetics bronze multi-stick in the shade Dune, which is a product that I do have and I have reviewed before, so I was thrilled. I already had it in my collection. I didn't have to pick anything up for this, so I'm going to be blending this in with my Smith 157 brush. I mean, this foundation is magical. Everything's just really blending in so nicely. Just gonna take some up on the forehead. There is a mountain growing here on my forehead. I'm scared for it to peak. It will be Mount Vesuvius indeed. But hopefully we can help it out with some concealer afterward. One thing that I was fascinated that Kevin Kodra also did a TikTok about was his micro needling experience, and his face was like bleeding and it looked crazy, but his skin looked so smooth and phenomenal after. And I'm like, I'm doing the BBL treatments right now, okay, on my face, and I'm excited to let you guys know how that goes. But is that something that you would want me to keep doing? Like, would you want me to be a little guinea pig and keep testing out different facials and things? Like, I know there's the one famous one, what was it, like the vampire facial where they literally take your blood and inject it into your face. I'm not down with that. I'm not good with blood work. However, if there's any other facials or any treatments that you want me to like test and review, very like beauty editor style, let me know. I would love to make that more of a feature on my channel, like just testing some things out. What are you guys interested in, especially going into the new year? Like, what do you want to see me try, if anything at all? Now, this is not technically part of his little endeavor, but he has a little concealer tip after, and I just want to also apply this cream bronzer onto my nose so that we can do his little tip after. So I'm taking a little bit of that. This is the Rephr 32 brush. This is a fabulous brush. I actually didn't talk about it in my video with Rephr, but it's a lovely little flat, kind of slanted kabuki brush. It's actually kind of like a mini Smith 157 brush, which for the little nose contour action is perfect for blending. And this was newer in from them, so dear Rephr, thank you always. So that is the cream bronzer applied, very lovely and light and just really nicely soaking into the foundation, which he then went in with the Charlotte Tilbury beautiful blush, but we don't have that. So I'm going to use my Victoria Beckham Beauty Major blush and just pat that in. It's like a pink blush. It's not the same shade as the Charlotte Tilbury one. I think it's a little bit deeper, and the Charlotte Tilbury one has a bit of a sheen to it. But I think we can get a similar effect with this, especially since we're going to be going in with 2 more powder blushes later. So I'm just going to pat that in, really get that color going and lifted on the skin. Okay, looking good. We've got a little natural blush action going on, and now we go in with concealer. And this is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. He has been raving about this and using it frequently. And I just bought the same shades that he used, I think. In my brain right now, I recall buying the same shades, which is 4 and 7. So a lighter one and a deeper one. And I'm going to take the lighter one and use this to highlight and brighten up. Whoa, what an interesting doe foot applicator. Very pointy and chiseled. It's got a normal alcohol-y scent. I'm going to focus this under the eye. Whoop. Ooh, it's nice and creamy feeling, truly. I don't know if I'm going to need both of the shades, honestly. I feel like we've got a lot of color here. That's nice. Anyway, I'm going to take this around my mouth, on my chin. Whoop, whoop. I'm going to do a little bit of that below our contour bronzer line, too. I've got big red patches there, and just want to help chisel those out. Yeah, I feel like this color is actually just fine by itself. I like that it's like a true neutral. Okay, so then for the nose contour, he just takes it in a straight line down the center of the nose, and he lets it sit for a while. Actually, he lets all of the concealer sit for a while. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a sec and soak in. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, we've been waiting patiently. Let's blend it out with the Beauty Blender and see what magic follows. This is also my first time using this concealer, so we'll see how it goes. Also, love this whole very makeup artist-esque application of putting this on top of all of the creams. It's fascinating and very perfecting feeling. Sorry, I'm just taking some of that onto the eye because my eyes are very much covered in veinage and whatnot. That looks good. That looks really good. That is a nice combination of things on this side. I actually think that this makes a lot of sense for me because this part of my cheeks always gets very red, and when I apply my concealer after my foundation and then I go in with my cream contour and bronzer lifestyle, this often gets really red just from me like rubbing it. So doing it this way actually makes a lot of sense for how I do my makeup and how my skin reacts to makeup. So this is something, I know I've tried this before, like I believe it was a Katie Jane Hughes feeling moment, but regardless, I think this is something I'd like to continue playing with this process in my makeup routine. Did I go too high there? Maybe. Wow, I love this. Yeah, this settles it. I am absolutely continuing to do this, doing my concealer after all of the creams. It just looks so much more flawless. It's crazy. Like, yeah, you take away some of the pigment from the bronzer, but like it just looks so much more natural and blended into the skin. Minus that. That was high up. I don't know what to say about this. Okay, let's get this forehead blended. And then down the nose. Hopefully this will have set in, and his whole thing was that basically just this line will stay and the nose contour will be more effective. Maybe I should have done that with a smaller brush, but I don't know if it made a difference, but that definitely looks more natural than the usual nose contour that I do. I think he goes in with powder after, but I like this. I like leaving that concealer to set in. You definitely do see a more definite line on the nose. Okay, the base is looking good. Let's set in with powder. Now it's time for the baking. Now he actually uses 3 different powders, and this is where we're gonna see how the process goes, but he starts with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and does a little bit of baking. And it just seems like the whole world is having success with baking except me. What is the secret? I don't understand. I'm gonna take the Beauty Blender. I think he actually uses a powder puff. Either way, Beauty Blender or powder puff, it's the same thing, right? Here's what I don't know. Do you dip it into the powder and then do you like pat it off, or do you apply the powder in full force? Like, I need more in-depth discussions about this, okay? But basically he goes in and sets the under eye, and he goes right up to the side of the nose here, setting that all in. Oh dear. And on the other side, right up underneath the eyes and right up to the side of the nose. I'm just gonna do the chin as well. And then under the contour there. Did he go up to the forehead too? Now I'm not recalling if he went up to the, yeah, he did. He put it up here and on the nose too, right? Yeah. Oh, it's just dusting all over me. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna correct it. So that's the translucent powder. Then he goes in with another powder. I actually don't recall which powder he used, but I'm just gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. This is a Rephr 30 brush, a big face brush, and he kind of just used that to set in all over, not the specific baking areas. It's a whole lot of powder. We're very matte right now. And then if that wasn't enough powder for you, my friends, another one of his little TikTok tip videos included this Too Faced Born This Way multi-use complexion powder. But I think it was the foundation powder. Anyway, he said foundation powder, and this was the one that came up for the Too Faced one that he used. But he said to use a lighter one. This is the shade Cream Puff. And taking a little brush and using this to brighten and set in the under eyes. So he literally did this, and he went and was like, look at how much brighter it looks. I don't think that did anything for me in particular, if I'm completely honest. But it's the Kevin Kodra way. We're not here to debate. I don't know. I feel like that actually just made my eyes look a lot more dry under there. I don't know if any of you tried that one. I don't know if I needed another powder for that. I think we could have stopped at the 2 powders. I'm just gonna like fluff this away a little bit. I'm feeling very, very dry indeed. Okay, then one of the bronzers that he loves to use is the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. I know I've used this before, but I just don't recall, and I know that it's actually a lifelong favorite of many people. Wow, it's very pigmented. There's a lot coming off on here. And he uses that to bronze, so I'm just gonna take that. Ooh, I am slightly forgetting if he did, I think he did bronzer then blush, but either way. Apply your powder. This seems a little bit deep for my skin right now. It might be cute when I have like a fake tan on, but right now she's pale and this is deep, but it is giving a very nice warm glow on the skin. So just patting that around. I was gonna take that on my neck too. She's looking a little pale. And just because it's a norm around these parts, I am just going to take that bronzer onto my eyelid while we're here, because that is my favorite thing to do. And then even though we already put cream blush on, he actually layered up these two blushes specifically. So one that I already had was the Makeup by Mario Creamy Peach blush. And then one that I didn't have, that I couldn't believe it, and I was so excited. Guys, I bought this and then it went out of stock. I don't know if it's just Kevin Kodra, but this blush has been popping on TikTok and on Sephora Canada. It is now out of stock, but it's NARS Thrill. NARS Thrill. Like, tell me that this blush doesn't scream my name. Total dupe for the Bobbi Brown Pale Pinks, the Dior Backstage blush, like very much in that color family. So I'm so excited to have got my hands on this and to try it. So he did like so much blush, so many products layered together, but I love it. I love a good concoction. So he started with the Creamy Peach. Put a little layer of that on. This side of my cheek is always splotchy, honestly. Like, I truly do have a real bald patch on my cheek here. It is so bizarre, and I love it when you guys comment that you have it too. It makes me feel so much less alone, but it's real. It's a real thing, the little bald patch. Okay, anyway, then he goes on top with NARS Thrill. I don't know if I'm noticing like much of a difference there. I feel like I actually would have preferred this by itself, but that's the two layered. I feel like when he applied it, it was much more of the Thrill color poking up. What have I done wrong? I feel like there's just a lot. There's a lot happening here right now. Okay, my lips are feeling naked. I'm gonna apply this. Okay, great. We've got a little bit more life on our lips. So now the final tip is actually where I get the most scared. And it was one, like, listen, I could just take my setting spray and be done here. But there was one TikTok video of his where he was like, are you spraying your setting spray like this?
Stop it immediately.
Spray it on a sponge and dab it into your
Press the
skin.
sponge into your skin very lightly.
Is this going to ruin everything that we've done? I don't know, but he specifically was like, if you have dry under eyes and you want to help set the powder in and add more hydration, blah, 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 whatever. That's what he did. He sprayed the sponge and patted this onto the face. I'm so scared that this is literally just going to wipe everything off my face, but let's try. Oh, dear. I feel like that just made me look more tired. Oh no. Just for good, healthy measure, let's take a bit of our benefit professional and just spray this over our face in the usual boring way, okay? But like a lot of it, because there's a lot of powder here. I have to go out after this. I'm going to a social gathering after this. I'm going to show up looking like a dry crypt keeper. Although, I have to say, actually, okay, the setting spray is settling in, as are my hairs into my face. Uh-oh. That's actually settling in quite nicely. Like, at first, you guys saw it looked really wet and it made me look tired, and now it's drying and it kind of looks amazing. What is this? Witchcraft. Now listen here, okay? I'm a blush gal. I love to go heavy on my cheeks, but even this is a lot for me. And also something really weird is going on here. Like, I actually don't know what to do about this life, and we've already set it in. Dare I just attempt to fix my little bald spot here? Is this gonna ruin everything? Probably. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh god, I look like a clown. I do, I look like a clown. I don't know what to say here. Okay. Listen, if it weren't for this little cheek bald spot blender, it honestly looks quite flawless, truly. And I think, like, even though I'm a dewy gal until I die, and I have been playing a lot more with powder, I think I'm just more so frustrated at the fact that I can't make baking work for me. And it works for so many people and looks so good and so flawless and makes so many people's makeup so long lasting that I just feel like quite desperate to make baking work for me. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, or if it just is just the fact that I have like some dry bald spots on my face that are just rejecting the whole baking idea. But I think I just need to work a little bit with the contour line that I have done, because honestly, a few of those tips combined, like it looks okay. From far away I look pretty flawless, but under my eyes, man, like this is another story. Like, it looks pretty frightening and like quite wrinkled up. So I don't know, maybe there's like specific eye creams that people use to help heavily moisturize under there or something, or maybe I just have more little wrinkly under eyes. But a few of these tips I'm excited to keep playing with. I think I've learned a lot from watching Kevin Kodra's fun little TikToks, but I don't know. I'd love to hear from you. Are there any of you out there in the world who really struggled with baking? And if there were any particular tips that helped you like get the hang of it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And this is the finished look. This is the Kevin Kodra method. So my friends, that is everything for this look. I would love to hear your thoughts. How do you think I did? What are your thoughts on some of the tips that we gained from Kevin Kodra here today, as well as some of the products that I used here today? Are there any products that you want me to keep using, like the foundation and the concealer method? I'm very excited to keep playing with those. I liked spraying the setting spray onto the foundation brush before. I thought that was a cool little tip. But yeah, the baking, it's a work in progress, my friends. Someday we'll get it figured out. Anywho, thanks so much to Kevin Kodra for existing and blessing our TikTok feeds with your fabulous, fabulous skin and makeup skills. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All the products that I used, I will link in the description box down below. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you all tomorrow for a new Landmas video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!